Hi you guys, Sarah Pacaro here. I hope you like the title of today's live. It's called Watch Your Comments. And if you don't, then you're just going to make yourself look like a fool. Here's the thing. I obviously share a lot of content about healing from narcissistic abuse and transforming your life, getting into a space and a life that you absolutely love, a thriving life after experiencing narcissistic abuse. And there's nothing wrong with you if you have, but there is something wrong with you. Not really, but the belief that there's something wrong with you, the things that keep you stuck in that. I have a video, tons of videos on YouTube about narcissistic abuse. Hi, good morning, Courtney. And one of them is when the narc can't control you anymore, then what? Obviously, that is what narcissists are about. They are about manipulation and control, and they will do whatever it takes to get to control, not just you, but everyone in their lives. They will manipulate, they will gaslight, they will triangulate. They will all of those terms and all of those things, because that is a level of their maturity. And unfortunately, it's not a very high level of maturity. It could be called immaturity. And we're not going to get into how a narcissist becomes a narcissist, but we are all adults walking around with inner unhealed wounds, and narcissists have an abundance of them, and they project them onto people who can normally be called their supply or victims. And when you start implementing boundaries and begin to doing the work to heal yourself and transform and change, and they can't impact you in that same way anymore, then they can't control you anymore, because you begin to see what's real instead of believe what isn't, which is what was happening when you were with them. So when the narcissist can't control you anymore, of course they don't like it. Of course they're going to retaliate. They're going to go into narcissistic rage and smear campaign and all of those terms and all of those things. But here's the thing. When I had a response, someone commented and said, "I'm so sick of their stupid, immature behavior. They need to grow up and stop bothering other people." Well, when you make a comment like that, what that indicates is that you're still triggered. You're still impacted by the narcissist or narcissist in your life. And if you're still triggered and you're still bothered by them, it means they are still able to control you. That's the truth about that. So that's why I said watch your comments, because that is showing the level of maturity, growth, and healing that you're at. So if you're making comments like that, well, I'm so sick of their stupid, immature behavior. If the narcissist were to see that, they would laugh. They would think it was funny that they could still get to you, that they could still trigger you, and they would know they've still got you. And you may not physically be together, but you putting energy and thoughts and comments out there like that, all that does is empower them. It tells them, I still got them. Look at this. I can still poke them, trigger them, and make them go, ah, and blow up in a rage. So that really just shows your level of maturity, where you're at along your journey and along your healing to growth. And when you say they need to grow up and stop bothering other people, they're not going to, because that is who they are. And that's an indication of where they're at in their progression in life. So we can sit there and go, they, and point fingers all day, but that does nothing to benefit anyone. And all it does is mirror and show a reflection of where you're at in your life and along your journey to healing. So yeah, when the narcissist can't control you anymore, they don't like it. But if you are still triggered and you're still responding or reacting that way and posting comments like that, check yourself. What does it feel like when you feel that, or when you think that, or when you have a comment or a thought like that? And they need to grow up and stop bothering other people. Okay, if you know anything about narcissists, you know one thing. They're not going to, because they don't see anything wrong with their way of being, and they don't care, and they think it's funny that you make comments like that. So it just means that they can still control you. So if they can still control you by getting you to continue to make comments like that, that's an indication that you still have unhealed wounds. You still have abandonment wounds. You still have rejection wounds. You still have betrayal wounds. You still have mother wounds, father wounds. And those are all those inner unhealed places within you that lead you to believing that you're unworthy of love, that you're incapable of loving or being in a healthy relationship, that you're undeserving of all the good things that life has to offer. And if those are your beliefs, that's going to become your reality. You're going to continue to find yourself in toxic patterns and anxious patterns with your mind feeling like it can't focus on anything. You're going to energetically and magnetically attract other people like that into your life, whether it's your personal life, whether it's the next relationship, whether it's in your job, whether it's in your family. You're still going to feel restricted and constricted when it comes to implementing and setting healthy boundaries with people, or you're going to be super rigid and just completely like wall off and shut off to everyone and everything and self-isolate and then develop social anxiety. I mean, I hope you can see how all these things are connected and related. So check your comments, because they're generally a mirror and a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So the turnaround from I'm so sick of their stupid and immature behavior, if the turnaround is an indication of where you're at emotionally and along your journey to healing, what you're really saying is, I'm so sick of my stupid and immature behavior. And that's probably a bomb of truth that's going to be dropped on you like, oh, probably isn't what you want to hear, but it's a really good way to indicate where you're at. They need to grow up and stop bothering other people. If you turn it around and you implement I instead of they, I need to grow up and stop bothering other people. And you guys, I say this with love because I've been along this journey as well. And it's not a fun one, but it is a very, very important one. To turn it around, turn it inward, and see within you what's triggered by them. Because you are the only person that you can transform, that you can change. And if you want anything in your life to change, it has to start with you. And when you change, you just become like unaffected by the narcissist. Even if you still have to engage with them, I still have to engage with mine. I mean, not very often, but during this very brief exchange. And it's crazy. I cannot tell you how different it is. It's as if he's not even there. And yes, I've got to kind of love my daughter a lot more after the exchange, but I'm so much more tuned into her because I'm not triggered or impacted by him. It's like, okay, yep. If even that, like most of our exchanges are silent. There are no words exchanged, just an exchanging of a child. Because there's nothing more to exchange when you're no longer triggered and when you're no longer thinking that, because you no longer feel and believe it within yourself. You just become disinterested in giving your power away. And you realize, holy shit, that's what I did for so long. And I'm worth it now. And I'm going to keep and contain my power and use it for good, not use it for bad and evil like you did when you were with them. So, yeah, watch your comments, you guys. Love you all. And if you are still along that journey or you need support, we've got an incredible group, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power. We go live every Wednesday. We have in-depth coaching calls, kind of like this one, but on an even greater level. And if you're interested in doing one-to-one work together to get to the very core and root of those unconscious beliefs, the ones that are really lies that you're believing as truths about yourself, then reach out to me and we can talk more about that. But in the meantime, watch your comments because they're just a reflection of where you're at. So much love. Have you a wonderful day. All right, bye guys.